This week is a fun week. We do a full design breakdown of a website, product, that also happens to be our competition.
All right, y'all. So great to be here. So great to be back this week. And again, we're doing something a little different this week. And sometimes the first time we've ever done something like this specifically, we're doing a full, utter breakdown of a website and product. But this one's a little bit closer to home because this website and product is almost in direct competition with what we're doing here at Feedcast. So I'm doing a breakdown of what we call Paper.li.
That guy.
Paper.li is a product that actually helps you curate your own content. So what happens is you go into their website, you type in some stuff that you want, and they actually bring it all to one spot for you, which is really cool. So all the articles you'd ever want from these different types of sources, they bring it all to one spot for you, so you don't have to be searching amongst all different types of social media platforms to find what you're looking for. Again, the exact same thing, exact same premise that we do with Feedcast. The difference to this place is they've actually got quite a bit of a head start on us. I think they've been doing it probably 3 or 4 years longer than we have, with a full team. And then Feedcast has just got me as a designer, and then plus our devs. But in terms of design work, they got a whole. It's me versus a whole team, which I love those odds. You know I love those odds. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That's what's actually happening here at Paper.li, which is fantastic. So today we're going to do a full breakdown of their website and of their product and see what your thoughts are. But I'm going to be looking at some of the major positives that they do, because there's a lot of good things they do, but also maybe some of the shortcomings from a UX perspective and from a UI perspective. Then we're going to do some compare and contrast with what we're at Feedcast. And I know Feedcast is totally not there yet. But I'm really interested in seeing your perspective on, what's better and what's not, and obviously what we could do better in moving forward. So let's jump on in, shall we? Let's go. Start things off. So going in on Paper.li, here we go. All right. So to start things off, great hero image, which is again the first thing a lot of websites have. So it's nothing crazy, nothing over the moon or over the top to be excited about there. But they do some pretty good things, do some really correct things. Obviously, they got all the nav up to the top right, easy to find, easy to see. Obviously, got their logo type up here, which is important, so you know where you're at, know what's going on. But huge is great explanation of their value proposition. Collect great content to share. Pretty clear what they do. Collect content that you want to share with your followers and people that you want to know about your stuff. Again, this is a product that's really designed for professionals to collect reads for themselves, but as I'll share it with their following to really kind of show that they're educated and stuff, and the fake show we like to put on from time to time. But that is the presence and the precedent and idea that they're going forward, and that's what we do Feedcast too. So, but we tend to pry on that stuff. But yeah, that's what it is. So very clear value proposition here. Collect great content to share and engage with your audience wherever they are. Get to know what's going on, and a great call to action. Get started. It's free. So again, the text really lures me in, which is awesome. Cool, great, clear, and to the point. Engage the audience and get started. It's free, and they also have a video, which is pretty cool. Wow, they run a small business. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's stop talking. So, but you continue to show, and the same old. These are the companies we work with. Yada, use our stuff. Collect relevant content easily, and all the stuff the way they do it. And again, their website's very clear and concise of what they're about and what they do. And then obviously they got all these people that say that, wow, they're so amazing. And again, great another call to action after the read to really make sure that, hey, please start. Great thing to do. That's always good to do from the start and at the beginning to show what they're doing and what they're about. And obviously, again, wow, I have to say that again. So again, call to action here. As you scroll, you come to the end, get started 3, but as soon as you start scrolling back up, again, call to action there or sign up, sign in. So again, buttons everywhere to get you into the product, which, kudos to them in terms of their UX. Very smart to be able to get going on that. So get started, it's free. I'm going to sign on my Twitter. Let's go. J1 Udes, let's go. Don't look at my password, suckers. All right, signing in. We are getting in. All right, so right off the bat, as soon as you sign in, very clear. What news are you interested in? Let's talk Super Bowl, since that's coming up. The cool thing about this is obviously they have a huge list of stuff that comes up, of different things, of different keywords or hashtags that would possibly come up for this thing. The best part about it is I can say pick Super Bowl and the preview content on it, and I can see if I really want to collect that keyword or not, which is really cool. The first few stories come up, and it's like, you know what, I think it's really cool. And they also make it very clear at the end of all these articles, create a free paper now to see up to 250 articles. You can edit your content or add new topics or connect content sources anytime. Add your own sources, schedule newsletters, include the news on your website, and much more. So again, they're very clear on what they're doing, and they're really trying to explain the onboarding process as you go, get you set up your own, what they call a paper. Feedcast would call it a feed. Again, this collection of stories that you're trying to create for your following. So I'm like, yeah, this is great. So let's go next, choose layout. Again, very clear, classic or modern, only 2 choices. Let's go with modern because we're feeling a little modern today. Obviously, the loading time's a little slow only because they're trying to collect all these stories at once. And again, it's really cool. So again, very clear text. Bold titles with the description, the image. Love this in terms of get out of here. Really cool. Again, descriptions are clear. Where it's coming from is really clear, which is awesome. And you just, it's a very clean layout in terms of layout for images and for these articles. But I can also share them with my following. And I'm guessing that's what these things are. Blacklist this website. Oh, that's cool. They add that little blacklist website. So if you pull in an article that you're just like, don't think that really works, you can block this website. That's pretty cool, and it disappears. Only problem I have with this on a desktop, at the very least, we're going to only look at the desktop today, is the fact that on hover of each story, these are way over here. I honestly did not see them until I just started seeing a little bit blinking on the far right side of my screen. A little frustrating, right? The only problem I had off the top, you realize they only allow you to select or type in one product. Sorry, not one product. Only one keyword that you can throw in, and then they pull it for you, which is a bit of an issue. So you have to do a little research. How can I add more? So let's go over to the settings tab over here. And again, this is a little odd that they'd put it under a settings icon. I don't think the settings icon sets this up for everything. Yeah, you got a couple things in here, modules, newsletter service. There's just a lot going on that aren't just specific to settings. So they probably could be using a different icon there. But the content part, really cool. Again, I think this is a really cool functionality on their part. You go into content, you can add content sources by, again, entering another topic. Say we want Tom Brady. Can't stand the guy, but Tom Brady. Ooh, really? No keywords of Tom Brady. Surprise, surprise. That could be. Let's try that again. Tom Brady. Come on. There's got to be. Tom Brady, the film director. You got to be kidding me. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Okay, we'll try this one more time. This is ridiculous. If they're not pulling anything on Tom Brady, I'll be really surprised. I'm not even a Pats fan. Really, they're not pulling anything on Tom Brady right now. That's an issue. So, nothing on Tom Brady. But regardless, so let's just throw something else like the Eagles, All right, pulling all this stuff on Eagles. Which is pretty cool. It's yeah, they're pretty cool. I like them. I like that they add this little functionality here to let you know that it's been added, and you can keep going if you'd like. You can also add your own Twitter sources, Facebook sources, all these different things. You can add your own. I like the idea of manually adding an article. Again, the point of this product is to, again, share it with your following, to show them what's going on in your world, what you're learning, what you're growing in, and then sharing knowledge with people. So you can add, if you come across an article that you thought was interesting but wasn't getting pulled in by Paper.li, what you can do is you can manually add it here and just put your the copy and paste the URL right in there, which is awesome. Cool thing is you can add, they have their own Chrome extension. So you can throw this up in the extension bar. So if you're on an article that you really like, you can just hit the Chrome extension and automatically gets added to your Paper.li page. Really cool. I think that's an awesome, cool functionality. I think it's really awesome too. is that with the content stuff, in terms of adding content sources, that they're able to pull from these different social circles. That takes a lot of work. I know. I mean, I'm only the designer. I'm not the full back end developer or anything like that. But I know this takes some work. So congrats to Paper.li for being able to pull that off. Good for them. But these are the kind of different. What's in the advanced settings? Okay, so your blacklisted people, blacklisted website. That makes sense. Your language, cool. That's cool. I get it. Fetch new content. This is really interesting. This is where Paper.li gets you with money. This will create a brand new edition of the paper and replace all the content from the current one. The next edition will update automatically at the scheduled time. You can refetch content 5 times within 24 hours. With Pro, it's unlimited. So you can update your feed 5 times in a day. Pretty cool. Especially with kind of more stagnated news content. It makes sense. But the way they make money with their Pro is you can fetch all the time, anytime you want. And I'm guessing, I haven't paid money to get into the Pro, but I'm hoping what they do is you can set all the different times that it pulls, which would be exciting and actually a really cool feature. So that's kind of what they're doing, which is great. But again, have an issue with it being under a settings tab. It's kind of tucked up here. Don't really know to really click it, or if I should click it to really access the bare bones of what the product is, which is actually really important. If it's under a settings tab, it isn't clear. There's so much going on. It's in essentially a sidebar, which are so much in here functionality-wise that just hitting a settings tab, a lot of people don't really use settings tabs in terms of a lot of companies or products use settings tabs for a lot of mundane things. This is core features to the product, and it's all hidden under this. They could probably break this down in a few different buttons to kind of get an idea across that, hey, you should tap on these and get the point across. Or you can even pull these down into here. Which would make a lot more sense as well, in terms of it gets it front and center to what's happening with the product and what's going on, and essentially tie the functionality to your product, to what the actual situation is. Don't tuck it up in the top right corner. So top right corner settings is stuff that's very much specifically based on what the actual article or paper you have is. If you tap on the P, it pulls up another sidebar. And again, it's just a stupid version of a hamburger button. So stinking hamburger buttons, man, causing troubles. So they got all kinds of different things going on here. I can collaborate on a paper with somebody, so we can contribute to one together, which is pretty cool. I have my favorites down here, which is awesome. And then all my papers down here, I've made the design daily, which pretty cool. Brings a lot of design stuff in. Obviously, I love smart homes and love smart speakers or the voice assistants. I'm super about that right now. Loving that idea, loving that life. But again, really cool. This is cool. Okay. Step up your visibility by sharing. Enable the automatically sharing on paper on Twitter. Okay, this type of thing is cool because it really, I guess this is what it was pointing to when we first got in earlier. Back when I clicked off it right away, I was getting annoyed by it. Okay, right from the get-go, they do point to it. So I give credit to Paper. They're trying to point to the settings to let them know that it is important to go there and figure out what's going on. But again, who's really going to tap on a settings tab for core functionality? No one's going to really think to until later, 3 or 4 decisions away. But anyways, so kind of got my papers in here. I got my account settings, which, is all that jazz, which is, the mundane stuff. My profile, which is my paper. Collaborative paper is my favorites, which, again, is all kind of down here, which I don't see a point really for this because I don't even know, if this is even accessible to, other people. So I don't even really see a point for this page if it's all going to be in here anyways. If you're going to go with the hamburger button, at least commit to it and don't break it down in other spots of the website, because it just becomes redundant after a while. So yeah, that's my profile. Newsstand is, again, similar idea. Newsstands, do you see that? Newsstand and profile are very similar pages, I think, with 2 less buttons on the profile page versus the newsstand page. Staff pick isn't currently buzzing, and I guess you can search for junk here. That's pretty interesting, pretty crazy of what they're doing. Again, I don't see the point of having 2 separate pages for that. I think it's something you can definitely clump into one easily, make it less redundant, make it more streamlined for your users, easy to use, it makes sense, have less options. And again, but great to have in green, create another paper here, huge for, in terms of what their value proposition is and getting people to build papers and create papers within their product called Paper.li. That's what Paper.li is doing. A very quick rundown of what they're about and what their product is. Interesting idea, interesting thing. They got I think 500,000 users. Like, they're doing well for themselves for where the product is. Again, UI isn't the greatest. UX isn't bad. UI isn't looking great. But, it's a product that's usable. As long as it's usable at the end of the day, great. But I also do have I can tend to be a little bit more critical of companies that have a lot of employees on board and their UI is looking a little shoddy. Like, it can be a little sharper. It should be a little sharper. So that is literally what is going on with Paper.li and what they're all about. Let's do some compare and contrast, shall we? And please, I want to get tore up on the product that I've designed called feedcast.com. Very similar to Paper.li. This is our homepage. Welcome to Feedcast, where you control the content that matters to you. I do find our wording is a little bit more vague than Paper.li's. I think we can do a lot better on our homepage. And I think our homepage is a little bit more busy at this point in time. I think there's a little too much going on with all the stories. But some people like that. I think it's something we could definitely do better in. I can right off the top, hit the NASDAQ feed, what we call feed, what Paper.li calls a paper, and it takes me right to all the stories, which I do find our story layout a little more clean and clear than theirs. It's just in a different way. But, the amount of reads, the likes, saves, all of that, we're really prompting people to continually sign up or log in. That's always persisting up at the top. Will let us know who you are. So, I'll let you know who I am. Let's go all in. You already got my stuff from earlier. So I kind of a whole new world opens up. See people to follow here. The trending feeds are happening within the product. My UX UI feed, my 3 followers, baby. Let's go. Number 5. So this is my UX UI feed of design. So again, this is all I get my stories that I post on Twitter and things of that nature. I do find that we are a little more free flowing because what we do is very different from Paper.li. What they do is they pull. You can pull a max of 5 times within a 24-hour basis. What we do for free, we pull every 5 minutes. So there's constantly fresh content coming in, which is great. And so this is kind of what we're about, what we're doing. Again, ours is a much more simple product, I find. We're trying to get to where Paper.li is in terms of what they're offering. Right now, we only pull from Twitter. They can pull from all kinds of different areas, and they can manually add content or articles to their stuff, to their papers of sorts. So that's kind of where they're ahead of us. And so ours is a very much simpler product in what we're offering. But, we're constantly updating. I say load 2 stories right then and there. The big thing that we're working on, or I'm working on personally right now, is obviously this is not really clear. This shows the related articles that can be to any of these stories. Hashtag UX, these are kind of the related stories, which is, I guess people can like that stuff. But then you got a like function, bookmark, share, all that jazz going on. I think the big thing, though, this is where we fall short because Paper, I think, does a great job when it comes to building your paper. Ours is not very clear at all, and I'm going to tell you that right now. It's absolute garbage what our feed process creation is. So I'm going to just show you quickly here. So feed stats, we do show like where we're pulling these articles from and the top sources that we're pulling from, which I think is pretty cool. We can add more there, but it's kind of what we're offering. The followers are shown there. People who are interested in this. Edit function. So again, search hashtags, keywords, and Twitter names, whatever you'd like. And so I can type in, let's say hashtag UX design, and then it'll pop up there. And I can throw an advanced search in if I'd like, and I can go a little more deeper. These hashtags, this can be all one search. So I want to find something that has these specific hashtags from this specific handle mentioning this. Like, we can go super deep, which you can't do that with Paper.li, which again kind of takes ours to the next level. But again, it's hard to use, so it doesn't really matter. at this point in time. And then they get the feed information. So you put the name in, category, image, you upload the cover image, save feed, move on. And that's kind of where things are at this point in time. So that's kind of the difference between us and Paper.li. So they're the competition. We're 4 years behind them. Josh Udall is coming. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. It's definitely been a different one, different types of prospects going after different types of ideas and kind of sharing what I'm thinking and what my thought process is on some ideas. So I hope this was helpful to you in showing you what I do as a designer, how I think when I'm designing or looking at different ideas and different products.
So that is that. What you just experienced is one of the least flashy things about being a designer. Sometimes you gotta grind them out, do some studying, do some research, figure out what's going on out there and how you can get better, compare and contrast, see where you're at. I'd love to hear your feedback and what you think about this episode and what you also think about the design I've been putting in with Feedcast. If you enjoyed this, if you got something out of this, please smash that subscribe button. I said it, smash that subscribe button. This is great. And to Paper.li, Josh Udall is coming. Let's go.